If you ever see anybody dressed up in a suit, you know they're trying to sell you something. So today I met up with heaps of real estate agents, and it's pretty much the same issue for every single one. You are there to sell property, represent, be the middle between buyer and seller. But I find that every single agent I speak to, and every agent I'm speaking to for the last 9 or 10 years, because we're in the trades, and know that you're always stuck, not what you want to do. So every time, every agent is trying to make sure every agent is worried about one thing. They've got a house, they want to sell. That's what you want to be spending your time on. So this is where all agents, Strata, they want to be spending their time on this, not on repairs and being stuck between the landlord. So this is where the money is for the agents, for you guys. You've got your landlords, owners, Strata, emergency services, whoever owns that property is looking after that property. You may be part of NDIS or whatever you may be part of. So, and on this side you've got the tenants, people living there. You've got commercial tenants, you've got all sorts, and there's lots of tenancy rules, like, commercial tenants, they have to be cleaning their gutters. If they've got a flood in the house, they have to do that before they can call the landlords or the real estate to take care of the problem. So essentially all real estate agents, they're spending, if you're spending the majority of your time, so every week you've got approximately, say the average person works about 50 hours a week, is working about 50 hours a week. From what I've understood is you don't get much time to actually do what you want to be doing, which is selling your house, selling houses, selling commercial properties, making the buyers, putting the buyer together. So of that 50 hours, you may only get 5 hours, but our job, because we're in repairs, roofing, plumbing, in the trades, so our job is to get you this time back, this 50 hours, get it back for you. You might be only getting about 5 hours a week of it. So how do we do that for you is, when you have a real estate, one of the ways that you get clients is to have lots of tenancy agreements. So owners will come up to you and go, hey, can you look after my property? We'll pay you, $20 a week, whatever it is, And the owners of this real estate, if you think like an owner, the real estate agents, the real estates, they take these 20 tenant agreements, even though they don't profit from it financially, because they think, okay, if I have all these tenancies, I gain a good reputation in the community, people like us, and then when it comes down to buying or selling the property, they'll come to us. So any real estate might have up to 10 employees working for the real estate, and you might have up to about 500 houses, up to 5,000 houses. And this is where it's getting out of control. This is why you're losing all your time. You're 50 hours a week working as a real estate agent or a strata or the middleman between everyone, because every single day you have these 500 houses. You've got door issues, you've got rain issues, you've got a flood, you might have a huge flood that day, and now you're trying to look after that landlord and say, hey, we found someone that can, the landlord's calling you or the tenant's calling you, and then you try to get your people out there, and some tradies are busy, so your usual roofer's busy, so you're trying to call other ones, new ones are not cooperating, they don't want to work with your terms, they don't want to go and quote it, because they're like, oh, what's the point of quoting it? I might not even win the job. So now you're negotiating between landlord and tenant and real estate, and at the same time, landlords are being very aggressive, unreasonable about things, saying, you should have this under control, and you don't. What did I sign you up for? And tenants can be real naggy all the time. So just a small door fix, which is really a nothing, just the little hinges come off the door, can end up being 5 or 6 phone calls. And if you have a flood that day of roofing, forget about it. Shut down your company for the day because you don't have anybody to help you. You might get 100, calls in the first hour, and that's none of you signed up for this. Nobody in real estate or Strata or Strata management or anybody signed up to be project managers. But you're thrown in this deep end. You'd rather be spending your time on the big ticket items. So, over many years, I genuinely believe we have solved this issue. So, one phone call, one email, one text from you guys, and we'll have it sorted. From the point of contacting the tenant, getting them under control, getting them calmed down, getting them taken care of, whatever the need may be, to contacting the landlord. And we got lots of ways to do that. We can get them involved into our platform so they can talk to each other. We can get them involved through, depending on the agreements that you have. Everything that we do on site, not only do we take photos, we make videos. We've got trained project managers on each one. We can, if you give us 100 floods in one day, we'll have them done in one day. We guarantee you this. How do we do this? It's through our platform, through our technology. So it's not me that's a miracle maker. We've just put one and one together and we've solved the issues for you. So we're coming to you as landlords, tenants, with really excited that we can give you a product that you'll be super happy with, and everyone's going to walk out with a win. The landlord, the tenant, yourself. And what might have taken you 8 hours will be done in 3 minutes. And all you got to do is end the job, just mark it off. And all the little things, landlord might be like, well, I'm not sure what I'm paying for. We'll take care of that part of it. We'll make sure the breakdowns are good. We'll make sure that the landlords are like, this was value for money. So we've been doing this for a while. It's not something new we brought in, but now we're more getting out there for the first time in many years, 7 to 10 years now. We are confident with our usual landlord, tenants, and emergency services. We're confident with what we've been able to do with them. We always get the greatest reviews. They're like, thank God, it's usually this, the ones that I sort of stand out are like, where have you been all this time? And from the little things, like not sending, if you call us and you're like, I need a roofer, so we'll ask or we'll Google the property and find out, is it a roof tiler or a sheet metal roofer? Because they're two different trades. If they need an electrician, is it a power board issue? Is it an off-peak, on-peak issue? Is it a government has switched off that road that day? We'll know that things from our side because we've got all these triggers set up for us. So we're promising miracles. We're promising to gain this 45 hours that you lose a week back to your agents. And even if you've got an office of 10 people and you get 2 premium sales guys that are selling everything, we will free up 8 of your agents to get back into the big ticket items, And so imagine how you could be spending your time. Imagine if you're not like shaking your head going, oh my God, I can't believe it's another issue that's becoming to a massive thing where one of the ducted heaters is gone or whatever it may be. So give us a go. I really believe that when landlords are like, hey, I want 3 quotes, or the tenant's like, I want someone today, I'm not paying the rent, all these issues, we have solved them. We know what and who to be in each scenario to solve them, so everyone's walking out okay. And you, as real estate agents, as strata managers, as emergency service managers, as NDIS managers, you're looking after your NDI, your national disability people. You can focus on what you signed up for, your role, to look after disability services, to look after houses and make big ticket sales, to look after these massive commercial properties and make sure everything's flowing as per the agreement and rental agreements. So we will look after the trade side. In a world of shortage of workers, shortage of trades, shortage of skilled workers, shortage of project managers, shortage of everything out there right now, and everyone's promising the world but they can't do it, and everyone's just living with it. They're like, oh well, this is the post-COVID world, but I can guarantee you we've done leaps and bounds, and we will do more than save your time in all of this stuff. So if you're very impressed with us, give us a go. Just one job. Obviously, it doesn't cost us anything to sign up. We're just another like a services company that does plumbing, electrical, roofing, handyman stuff, or the whole thing. But we have the platform, technology, and the humans that are forward-thinking enough that we will save your time. We'll reduce your 8 phone calls per issue, emails, chasing up, all that kind of terrible stuff that probably wants to make you feel like spewing everywhere. Of just like, I'm sick and tired of this. We'll stop all of that. No more chase up emails. No more, we should have done this. There's miscommunication, none of that kind of stuff. We're going to have clear videos on every single job site. And it's just a matter of how far you want to take it with us. If you give us 100 jobs, 300 jobs, we'll make sure they're all managed and confidently. And you can come to me if it's not.